Yo, what's up everybody? It's your name, and I am so stoked to be back with another video. The US, man, it's still one of my top countries for travel. Beaches, mountains, rainforests, deserts, big cities that never sleep, and little towns where time seems to stand still. It's insane. The diversity packed into one country is mind-blowing. So today, I'm hyped to share some of my absolute favorite destinations in the US, places that have blown my mind and left me craving more. Oh, and huge shout out to Storyblocks for sponsoring this video. First up, we're heading down south to the charming city of Savannah, Georgia. This city, man, it's like stepping back in time. The rich history here is palpable. Cobblestone streets, Spanish moss hanging from the trees, and stunning antebellum architecture. It's crazy beautiful. Every corner you turn, there's something to marvel at. And the best part, it's totally walkable. You can explore the entire historic district on foot. You can spend a weekend just wandering around, popping into antique shops, grabbing a bite at a sidewalk cafe, and soaking up that famous southern hospitality. The vibe here is just so welcoming. One of my favorite things to do in Savannah is just to get lost in the squares. Each one is like a little oasis in the city. The city is laid out on a grid system with these little squares scattered throughout, each one with its own unique character and charm. You might stumble upon a beautiful fountain, a historic statue, or even a group of locals playing chess. It's like a treasure hunt. And speaking of locals, the people in Savannah are awesome. They're friendly, warm, and always ready to share a story or two. Trust me, you'll feel right at home in Savannah. It's a place where history meets southern charm, and you'll never want to leave. Next up, we're heading west to southern Utah, a place that feels straight out of a sci-fi movie, with its otherworldly landscapes and surreal beauty. I'm talking towering red rock cliffs that rise up like ancient sentinels, slot canyons so narrow you can barely squeeze through, creating a sense of adventure and mystery, and skies so clear you can see a million stars at night, perfect for stargazing and losing yourself in the cosmos. This is a landscape that will blow your mind, trust me. The sheer variety and beauty are unparalleled. You can spend weeks here and still feel like you've barely scratched the surface. Hiking, canyoneering, rock climbing, off-roading, and so much more, you name it, southern Utah's got it. It's an adventurer's paradise. One of my favorite places in southern Utah is Zion National Park. It's a must-visit. The sheer scale of the place is just awe-inspiring. The vistas are endless and breathtaking. And then there's Bryce Canyon with its hoodoos, these weird and wonderful rock formations that look like something out of a Dr. Seuss book. They're truly unique. Southern Utah is a photographer's dream too. Every corner offers a new perspective. The light here is incredible, especially at sunrise and sunset. The golden hues make everything look magical. All right, let's switch gears and head up to the Pacific Northwest, to Seattle, Washington. This city has it all. A cool, laid-back vibe, stunning natural beauty, and a killer food scene. Plus, you know, coffee. Lots and lots of coffee. You can spend your days exploring Pike Place Market, catching a show at the iconic Space Needle, or just wandering around the city's many cool neighborhoods. Each neighborhood has its own unique charm and character, from the hip and trendy Capitol Hill to the historic Pioneer Square. But don't forget to get out and explore the natural beauty that surrounds Seattle. One of my favorite things to do is hop on a ferry to Bainbridge Island. The views of the Seattle skyline from the ferry are incredible, especially on a clear day. And Bainbridge Island itself is worth exploring, with its charming towns, art galleries and hiking trails. You can spend an entire day just wandering through the island's quaint streets, visiting local shops, and enjoying the serene atmosphere. And speaking of hiking trails, Seattle is a hiker's paradise. You're just a short drive away from the Cascade Mountains, where you can find trails for all levels of hikers. Whether you're a seasoned hiker looking for a challenge or a beginner wanting a leisurely walk, there's something for everyone. Chapter 4, San Juan Islands, kayaking with bioluminescence. Okay, we're sticking in Washington State, but we're heading out to the islands. The San Juan Islands are an archipelago off the coast of Washington State, and they are absolutely magical. Picture this, Pristine beaches, lush forests, charming towns, and water so clear you can see straight to the bottom. One of the coolest things about the San Juan Islands is the bioluminescent kayaking. At night, the water lights up with these tiny glowing creatures. It's like something out of a fairy tale. And speaking of wildlife, the San Juan Islands are home to an abundance of it. You can see orcas, also known as killer whales, in the wild, as well as seals, sea lions, porpoises, and bald eagles. Chapter 5. Captiva and Sanibel Island, finding paradise after the storm. Next up, we're heading down to Florida, but not to the typical tourist traps. We're going to Captiva and Sanibel Island, two islands off the coast of Fort Myers that are known for their natural beauty. These islands were hit hard by Hurricane Ian in 2022, but they are resilient and are rebuilding, and despite the damage, they are still incredibly beautiful places to visit. Captiva and Sanibel are known for their shelling. People come from all over the world to collect the beautiful shells that wash up on these shores. And speaking of beaches, the beaches on Captiva and Sanibel are some of the most beautiful in Florida. Chapter 6. Jackson Hole Gateway to Grand Adventures. All right, let's head back out west to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't Jackson Hole just for rich people? And yeah, it can be pricey, but trust me, it's worth every penny. Jackson Hole is a town located at the base of the Teton mountain range, and it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. The scenery is just breathtaking, and there's so much to do here, both in the summer and the winter. In the summer you can go hiking, mountain biking, fishing, whitewater rafting, you name it. And in the winter, Jackson Hole is a world-class ski destination. Next up, we're heading up to New England, to Bar Harbor, Maine. This charming town is located on Mount Desert Island, and it's the gateway to Acadia National Park. Bar Harbor is a great place to spend a few days exploring. There are shops, restaurants, and art galleries, and you can even take a whale watching tour. But the real draw here is Acadia National Park. This park is home to rugged coastline, granite peaks, lakes, forests, and meadows. One of my favorite things to do in Acadia National Park is to hike to the top of Cadillac Mountain. It's the highest point on the East Coast, and the views from the top are incredible. Chapter 8. Carmel by the Sea. A fairy tale on the California coast. Let's head back to California, shall we? This time we're going to Carmel by the Sea, a charming town located on the Monterey Peninsula. Carmel by the Sea is known for its fairy tale cottages, its beautiful beach, and its upscale shops and restaurants. It's a great place to spend a romantic getaway or a relaxing weekend. One of my favorite things to do in Carmel by the Sea is to just wander around the town, admiring the architecture and the beautiful gardens. And if you're a golfer, Carmel by the Sea is home to Pebble Beach Golf Links, one of the most famous golf courses in the world. Chapter 9. Joshua Tree. Finding yourself in the desert. All right, let's finish our journey in the California desert at Joshua Tree National Park. This park is named after the Joshua trees that are native to this area, and it's a truly unique and special place. Joshua Tree is a great place to go hiking, camping, rock climbing, and stargazing. The night skies here are incredible, and you can see the Milky Way with your naked eye. One of my favorite things to do in Joshua Tree is to hike to the top of Ryan Mountain. It's a challenging hike, but the views from the top are worth it. Joshua Tree is also a great place to just relax and disconnect. Chapter 10. New York City, the city that never sleeps and never disappoints. Finally, we're ending our journey in the city that never sleeps. New York City. Look, I know, New York can be overwhelming. It's loud, it's crowded, and it's expensive. But it's also one of the most exciting, vibrant, and diverse cities in the world. There's so much to see and do in New York City. It's impossible to list it all here. But some of my favorite things to do include walking across the Brooklyn Bridge, visiting the Metropolitan Museum of Art, seeing a Broadway show, and eating my way through all the different neighborhoods. One of my favorite things about New York City is that there's always something new to discover. Outro, keep exploring. So, those are just a few of my favorite destinations in the US. This country is vast and diverse, and there's something for everyone here. Thanks for watching. As always, happy travels, and I will see you in the next one.